Who does Shane think he is? Wasn't he doing like sweeping floors or like working in retail? Or I thought he was working in medical. Wasn't he in Switzerland? I thought this guy failed college. He didn't even go to uni, right? Yeah, I mean, all true. So I'm gonna tell you what no one knows, what no one talks about, why you suck at sales, and really my true story. So I've been in sales for 20 years. I came out of college, bad grades, DUDE, looking at everyone thinking, oh, they're all going to university, they've all got plans, got jobs lined up, and I'm just here, no plans. And thought to myself, I was doing psychology, sociology. I picked up economics in my second year. First year was IT and computing, which I got pretty bad grades in because I didn't do the homework basically. And yeah, so came out of college, went into a state agency, did that for 2 months, but I was getting paid like 10 grand. Couldn't even cover my own expenses, my insurance, fuel, etc. So managed to get a role with my mum working in British gas business, and I came in as an apprentice, did quite well there, and progressed on, got into sales, then came into a car crash which changed my life ultimately. I found out pretty early on when I started being in lead generation and customer service as an apprentice that I became number one in the UK within 3 months, in the first 3 months, and I did that literally just by asking every single person, you know, if they're interested in speaking about fixing their prices, as it might save them money in the long term. That's all it was. I just asked every single person, and before you know it, I was number one in the country pretty quick. So I got an all expenses paid trip to Paris in my first 3 months. Then went on to be in a specialist team that I was picked for, where I did a deal that was bigger than the whole team combined for the whole year, and that was just one deal that I did with quite a large chain. So then got into sales, the youngest person ever in sales, and I did pretty well in that as well. Made like 70 something thousand at the age of, I think, like 20 years old, 19, 20. That's when I bought a BMW at 19 as well, so I was living a pretty interesting life for a kid, making a lot of money, living kind of fast, and having a lot of bad energy around, I guess, distractions, and you know, these are things that you don't realise at that age. You just want to sort of be accepted and have friends and be seen as cool and all that stuff. So yeah, I had nothing to show for it at the end of it really, and I was in a car crash where I was a passenger, so that I wasn't driving, and yeah, it was pretty significant. I nearly died and got severe brain damage, etc. Lost my memory, my confidence, my movement of this arm, my left arm. So I was really bad. About 2 years later, I moved to Geneva, worked in finance, did really well with that. I actually became a consultant at 23, probably one of the youngest consultants out there at the time. And 100% of my clients that I saw face to face did business with me. So most of my clients, granted, were overseas. I was a global client services consultant, the first one for the company. But when I was face to face with the clients, I had really good success. And yeah, I just realised it wasn't really for me, the appetite of the business really. I was more interested in making money for my clients, not getting them to invest more. And of course that's not the aim of the game. So I left, came to the UK and did a lot of different things. Did temp work for British Gas again. I was sweeping floors, washing dishes, sweeping floors in a plaster factory, so I was covered in like protective clothing, covered in plaster when I come home every day. Whenever I was doing it, I was working like 2 or 3 days a week just so I could have time for myself. I think I was about 29 at this time, to find myself, to find my feet, what I want to do. Prior to this, I probably worked in dental sales as well. Absolutely crushed it. Was doing more than the reps on the road with better salary, more, you know, phones, laptops, cars. I'm sat there in an office billing more than all of them, making their top payout, and they can't pay me anymore, and my salary's lower as well. So it's like, well, what am I doing here? And they can't pay me anymore, so what's the point? So that's when I went to medical sales, where I was basically selling to interventional cardiologists, neuroradiologists and vascular interventionalists. My bread and butter was cardiologists, so I stood behind an interventionalist in a case. Could be a diagnostic, could be something more serious, and essentially they're doing the work on the patient, on the heart, on the coronary, and the team were all around. and I'm stood there behind them in the lead vest and lead protection, and they'd ask for a product, and I would say, oh, why don't you use this? And they'd say, well, why would I use that? And then I would say, okay, because of this, that and the other. And then it would be a case of yes or no, and then I would help guide them through using the product. Now, it sounds a bit crazy, but this is what I've done. And when I was in dental, I was speaking to dentists and practice leads and etc. and speaking their language. So what I'm essentially saying is, throughout my career, and more recently, I guess, was tech. I was a tech manager for a studio where I came in as a normal staff member, as a senior, but I was then promoted to management within 2 months because, you know, they could see that I had a lot to offer and to help the other people in the office. But essentially, all these things that I've done, yes, they're called sales, but it's consultative selling. Everything I was doing was consultative. If I wouldn't use it myself or it wouldn't have any benefit or value to people, I would not sell it. If it's just for the sake of the money, then there's no point, because it's never going to work. Your intentions always have to be for the best interest of the customer, of the client, of the prospect, anyone that you're dealing with. And I'm absolutely confident that you can speak to any client or prospect that I've spoken to throughout my years. Now, there's 20 years of people that I've spoken to, and I'm confident you can speak to them and find out if my intentions were always positive or negative, you know. And I'm confident in that because this is who I am. This is my what I've always been like. And my intentions are essentially not to... Money is one thing, but at the end of the day, it's to solve a problem that is not being addressed. And I've got the capabilities to do it, so why not? And we're doing it. This is the thing. This is literally happening faster than I could even thought was possible, and with better momentum than I ever dreamed. So, you know, things are happening, and you know, I'm really excited for what's coming. You know, I guess dreams are made of stepping outside your comfort zone, and every single thing that I did was stepping out my comfort zone to arenas and territories that I had no idea about, especially after the brain damage. They said I was written off. They said I'd never be able to do this and the other again. And to be told that at your peak at 20 years old, when everything's going great, and to be told that's all taken away from you, it's a very difficult thing to accept for someone like myself. So I did not accept that, and all I've done since is aim to try and better myself and keep learning, keep developing, because I didn't feel like university was the be all and end all. And then as the internet was becoming a thing, and you know, information was accessible, you could learn things were available. Because when I used to go to libraries as a kid, the books didn't exist for things I wanted to learn about, and the classes weren't really things I wanted to learn about. Sure, I learned in them, but it wasn't really what I was interested in. And I found out a bit too late when I picked up economics in my second year at college, that was really interesting. But you know, it happens. So I did work in Geneva for a couple of years, which was great, and I really loved that role. I picked up a hell of a lot from doing all these different things, and that ultimately has given me the knowledge and the experience and the confidence to do this. And I may not know everything, but we'll give it the best try we can, and we'll adjust and learn on the way. And the great thing is as well, there's amazing people supporting us, and that's the best thing. Things that I don't know, there's other people that will know these things, and I'm leaning on them really. And this is the great thing about being able to depend on other people, I guess, when you know where you're strong and where you're weak. And to build the best team possible, you've got to sort of fill the gaps and know, I guess, really where you're, you know, where you need to fill in value, really. And ultimately, that's what it all comes down to. The reason probably why you suck at sales is because you're chasing the cash. I hear it all the time in shops. I was in the bank yesterday, and you hear it as you're stepping out, like, oh, you know, I've only got 2 today. It's stuff like that. It's like, people are... I understand, okay, it's competitive, people want to make their targets and stuff like that, but to me, it's like, don't chase the money. Do the right thing. Don't chase the numbers. Look, the metrics are cool to just look at and know, but do the right thing. Just keep doing it with the intentions to be right for the best interest of the client or the prospect, and then you know you've done the right thing and you've got nothing to worry about. You know, living a life lying as a salesperson to get a quick buck is never the way, and you're never going to succeed long term. You might make short term money, but easy come, easy go. You know, I'm a big believer of karma, and a big believer of doing the right thing and living honestly and truthfully. And thankfully, touch wood, I've been able to live that life. And I think that's, I guess, a testament to why I've had so many blessings and I guess real challenges on the way as well. There's been a hell of a lot of ups and downs, but I've learnt from all of it. So bit of a long one today. Diary director 6, but I think it's 6, could be 7, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's good for you guys to know me, and I felt there might be people questioning my capability with this, or why does he feel like he can just come up and do this as a one-man band and done this thing, and all the stats are there, but just to have it there in the ether, it's there, then it's something that can't be changed. It's there for people can see it and see what we've achieved, and I'm proud of that. It's absolutely incredible. And to see that, to actually squeeze and find out the numbers, really scrutinize it to find these informations out, it was not what I expected, but geez, absolutely overwhelming, really, really incredible. So really pleased for it, and all I would always say is never stop learning, never stop trying, and keep learning, keep trying, keep learning, keep trying. Practice, fail, repeat. Practice, fail, repeat. Just keep doing, and things will work out always. It's never the end, so just keep going. Alright guys, it's been an emotional one. Peace.